What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the Avengers update and Spidey introduced to the Avengers, as well as all the upcoming things included within this update. A new threat comes to Wakanda and you and your teammates need to reassemble to bring your A game. Available now, all players on all platforms can venture into their first raid, Discordant Sound. Take on Claw in a brand new endgame Avengers Initiative adventure, which will require high level coordination from your strike team. Also included in 2.2, improvements across the game to systems like gear, cosmetics, and missions. Available to only PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 fans, you can play as Spidey. Starting off with the new raid Discordant Sound, which is endgame content for the high level strike teams. You'll face elite enemies and puzzles that require serious coordination in order to progress. The story picks up just after the events of War for Wakanda expansion. The newly awarded Queen of Wakanda informs Black Panther and the Avengers of a grave new threat. Corrupted vibranium has spread to the Great Mound and started to infest the Wakandan jungle, revealing that the sonic monster Claw is back. The Avengers decide to venture into the Great Mound only to find it swarming with Claw's forces and a large sonic barrier preventing anybody from getting in from the outside. With their country's fate slowly hanging in the balance, Wakanda's greatest warriors and Earth's mightiest heroes must join forces in order to bring down this threat. Players will experience all new threats that they've never experienced before in a Marvel's Avengers game. Teams will have to explore and solve complex puzzles while defeating some of our most difficult encounters, which will challenge both mind and combat skills alike. The raid includes new enemies, new environments, team challenges, unique rewards. Now moving on to the updated systems. In update 2.2, the player cap level has been raised. Originally 150, it will now be 175. There are a few ways to reach the level cap, but it won't be easy. Rewards from the Omega level threat family reunion and Discordant Sound weekly objectives can now be 10 levels higher, up to power level 150. As always, a fully boosted artifact will always give you 10 levels. Once you reach level 160, you'll unlock the elite version of Discordant Sound, which rewards players to the new power level cap. You also no longer have to pick a single hero to gear up at a time. For the weekly, the Omega level and the raid are now completable once per week with each hero. To now max your characters efficiently as possible, new weekly objectives for the Omega level family reunion and Discordant Sound will reward players with gear that will be guaranteed with a higher power level until you reach the cap for those objectives. Upgrade to gear is now available in the new gear rework system. Originally, gear was only available to upgrade to 10 power levels. Now any gear on power level 100 can be upgraded an unlimited amount of times until it reaches the power level cap. Also, they're simplifying the way you use resources within the game. So in this case, resources will only be used as fragments and upgrade modules. Now moving on to the shipment system, the new way to gain cosmetics. Shipments will contain a randomized set of cosmetics and resources that reset on a rotating basis. With any duplicates that you receive, you will get fragments instead. You can purchase shipments through earnable units or multiplayer. And you don't need to guess because everything is available to see on every single shipment, so you know exactly what you're paying for and getting. And opening enough shipments in a cycle will actually guarantee you a top tier reward. And lastly, Crystal Dynamics has been hard at work creating the wall crawler and web slinging menace, the Spiderman, in an all new event exclusively for PlayStation. The web slinger himself brings a new experience to the Avengers with his acrobatic style and a set of new powers. In the Spider-Man with Great Power event, Peter Parker learns of a deadly plot and must partner with the Avengers to stop AIM from acquiring technology that could potentially leave their synthoid army unstoppable. Insistent on keeping his identity hidden, Spider-Man creates a tight friendship with Black Widow and Miss Marvel while learning the new dynamic of working in a team. With this new threat knowing he can't take it on alone, Spider-Man must team up with the Avengers to deal with this challenge head on. In this version of Crystal Dynamics Spider-Man, Peter is in his early 20s. Living his double life, he bears his burden as Spider-Man. Being a gifted chemical engineer, Peter is recruited for his internship with AIM with his savvy classmate Liz Allen. However, Peter soon realizes of AIM's mistreatment of Inhumans, leading him to seek out the Avengers' help as Spider-Man. When his quest to expose AIM leads him to uncover the involvement of Alan Chemical, Liz becomes his eyes and ears. Playing as Spider-Man is easy and simple. All you have to do is go into the menus and click Spider-Man. You don't have to replay anything within the game. He is available to all PlayStation owners. Spider-Man offers new gameplay options that make him stand out from all the other heroes as you begin to traverse biomes with his signature web swinging abilities, his wall running abilities, and his wall crawling. Core to his gameplay are his webs. Not only does he use his webs to swing anywhere, he uses them in combat to get up and close and personal with his foes, maneuvering enemies to his advantage and webbing up enemies too. He brings a new status effect with his web shooters. All of his web-based attacks build up a web status meter to his enemies. Once the meter is full, his enemies are webbed and immobilized, and making them more vulnerable to other attacks from the other Avengers. All his web attacks and heroics build up web status, and his mastery tree and gear allow players to further customize the effects of the web status debuff. He's also able to use takedowns regularly and is a great support role. The Spider Skirmish light combo is used to build up stun damage and juggle enemies in the air. Take to the sky is to launch enemies up into the air to continue the combat. While on the wall, Predator Instincts gives you the ability to use a powerful leaping punch that deals bonus impact damage. Evade an enemy attack using the Spider Sense to activate a defensive armor. Evade at the last second to perform a perfect evade, opening up the enemy to further attacks. While dodging, use Think Fast, a spinning kick that can trip enemies, making them easier to combat, or use double fire to build up web status on the enemy. Quick reflexes and web counter are stronger versions of these attacks and can be performed after a perfect evade. The wreckage skill is his intrinsic meter, which builds up while dealing melee damage and avoiding attacks which drain it. When the meter is full, Spider-Man can use a takedown ability without having to stun them, even if the enemy is in the air. Both his assault and support heroics are heavily reliant on his technical expertise and his gadget making skills. His web bomb assault heroic is used to web up large amounts of enemies. His web drone heroic zips around the battlefield laying down cover fire with web projectiles. Upgrades improve damage output and defensive bonuses like willpower, regeneration, and defensive armor. The ultimate heroic wrecking ball creates a massive ball of webs, slamming into the ground, smashing enemies under it, and knocking back nearby foes. Once upgraded, intrinsic energy auto-generates, allowing Spidey to use his wreckage skills more often. Triggering the ultimate heroic also provides a heroic buff and reduces damage and increases damage dealt. You'll be able to collect 40 new outfits, including these. His personality is captured in over 20 emotes. Most can be unlocked during gameplay, but also in the marketplace. And finally, we come to the end of the video. I want to thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments down below if you'll be playing Spidey or you are playing Spidey. Don't forget to consider dropping a like. It helps me and helps out the channel. Subscribe for more upcoming news, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to know when my next video goes live. And until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then.